Hello everyone, welcome to EduTab and welcome to NABARD ARD static series through MCQs. Today, under the chapter Water Resources and Irrigation Management, we will be discussing about micro irrigation. First, I'll answer the question that I had given in the previous video and then we will discuss about micro irrigation. Students, before that, I'd like to tell you about the initiative that has been taken by EduTab as we have launched this comprehensive NABARD guidebook. This is your one-step solution to all your queries regarding NABARD. If you want to know about what is a NABARD as an organization, what is its functioning, everything is covered in this comprehensive guidebook. And also, if you had doubt regarding NABARD exams, like how many phases are there, what is the syllabus, what is the eligibility criteria, you can get all your questions answered from this comprehensive guidebook. And also, students, on the top of that, it is providing you the 6-step strategies and resources to clear this NABARD exam, and that too for free. Yes, you can download this guidebook for free, and for that you have to go to the description box, click on the link, register yourself and get this download this guidebook for free. Okay students, so we will start our video with the question that I have given you in the previous video, which was dash contain large proportion of sodium, potassium and magnesium, and thus they are infertile and do not support any vegetative growth. Your options are laterite soil, red soil, black soil, saline soil or ooser soils, none of the above. Okay students, so the answer for this question will be your saline soils or ooser soils. Why? Because we have discussed this, that in your saline soils and ooser soils, your sodium, potassium and magnesium proportion is high and they are not good for your vegetative growth. Okay, now let's discuss today's topic. First students, I'd like to tell you what is irrigation. So basically your irrigation is artificial application of water to the crop. Why we are applying artificially, why we are giving artificially water to the crop? Because to meet their water requirement. Okay, so irrigation is a process of applying water artificially to crop to fulfill their water requirement. Okay, students, every crop has its own water requirement and your soil do not hold such much water to fulfill the water requirement of the crop. So we have to apply water artificially. So that process is known as your irrigation. And your irrigation is divided into 3 parts. First is your surface, second is your subsurface, and third is your pressurized or micro irrigation. Okay, so basically there are 3 types of irrigation. Under your surface we have flood, basin, border, furrow and third type of irrigation. Under your subsurface we have natural and artificial subsurface irrigation. And under your pressurized and micro irrigation we have drip and sprinkler type of micro irrigation. Okay students, so students, we will be focusing on this type of irrigation mostly because question in your recent trend of your exam, it has been seen that many question has been asked from your micro irrigation part. Okay, so that is why this is important for your exam and we will be discussing about micro irrigation. So first let me tell you what is micro irrigation. Students, micro irrigation is the slow application of water. Okay, slow application of water to the root zone of the crop. So that is your micro irrigation. And why we are doing slow application? So that we do not overwater the land, because in a traditional method what we do, we just flood the land and sometimes we tends to overwater the land. That leads to wasting of our water. Okay, so in such cases we are going for micro irrigation. So that is why we are going for micro irrigation, so that our water is utilized efficiently. Okay, so basically your micro irrigation is low pressure, low flow rate type of irrigation that can reduce overwatering of land. Okay, now why we are going for micro irrigation? What is the need to do micro irrigation? Students, basically see, your roots are the plant system which absorb water from the soil and provide it to your other parts of plant. So basically your water is given to the root zone. Okay, in micro irrigation our focus is on root zone of the plant, because roots are the only plant system which are going to absorb this water. Okay, so in micro irrigation we are directly applying water to the root zone. Okay, and so इससे क्या हो रहा है, इससे क्या हो रहा है, हम ज़्यादा पानी waste नहीं कर रहे हैं. Okay, we are just focusing on the root zone and we are not wasting, and every part of the field is not irrigated. We are just focusing on that particular part where the root zone is present of the crop. Okay, so that is why we are going for micro irrigation. And also student, it is saving your 20 to 50% water than you apply in conventional irrigation. Okay, so basically this system uses only 20 to 50%. This system uses 20 to 50% less water than your conventional irrigation system. So that is why there is a need to go for micro irrigation. Now students, let's see what are the types of micro irrigation. As I have already told you, your micro irrigation or your pressurized type of irrigation system is of two types. Okay, first is your drip irrigation system, second is your sprinkler irrigation system. Students, in drip irrigation system, okay, through a drip we are supplying water to the root zone, okay, as you can see in the picture. And in your sprinkler irrigation system, through a sprinkler, okay, through a rotatory sprinkler, we are trying to irrigate our field, okay. So we will discuss this in detail further. Let's try to do some questions, okay. First is for the question. First question is, dash is the artificial application of water to crop to fulfill their water requirement. Your options are fertigation, irrigation, percolation, all of the above, none of the above, okay. And we have discussed this, that your irrigation is the artificial application of water. Irrigation is the process where we are artificially applying water to the crop for fulfilling their water requirement, okay. Now moving on to the next question, which says, which of the following are the types of micro irrigation? Options are sprinkler irrigation, drip irrigation, surge irrigation, both A and B, none of the above. Students, we have discussed that your micro irrigation are of two types, that is a sprinkler and drip. So the answer for this question will be both A and B, okay. Now let's see what is drip irrigation system, okay. Students, your drip irrigation system has been introduced from Israel, okay. You must know this, that your drip irrigation system is introduced from Israel and it is developed by Syllabus. This is the important point, students, you must know for your exam point of view. It was introduced from Israel and it was developed by Syllabus, okay. Now this irrigation system is defined as the precise application of water to the root zone through mechanical devices. As you can see in the picture, there are some mechanical devices installed and it is applying water to the root zone of the crop. So that type of irrigation is known as irrigation system, precise application, okay. We have to precisely irrigate the root zone of that particular crop, okay. So it is precise but slow application, precise but slow application, okay. Slowly we are providing water to the crop through mechanical devices. So that is your drip irrigation system. Students, your drip irrigation system, in your drip irrigation system, we are slowly providing drop by drop, okay. We are providing drop by drop water to the root zone. In your drip irrigation होता क्या है कि your drippers लगे रहते हैं, mechanical devices जिनको हम बोल रहे हैं वो drippers लगे रहते हैं और वो एक drop करके root zone में पानी देते रहते हैं, ठीक है. So this method is very economical, okay. Now, its advantages. Let's see the advantages of this type of irrigation system. See, this is called economical because see, the initial cost is high for installation of drip system. Okay, you have to bear just initial cost for installation of this type of system. Else, after that, you don't need any labor for the irrigation. So that is why it is called that it is an economical system. Only once you have to install this drip in your field and you have to bear the installation charges. Rest you don't have to bear the expenses for labors, okay. Then losses due to deep percolation and surface evaporation are minimum. Now what is the meaning of this? Losses due to deep percolation. Students, sometimes what happens, our soil do not hold much water and as we irrigate it, it go deep down in the soil, okay. It do not hold our soil do not hold much water for the root system. So that is your losses due to deep percolation. So in your micro irrigation, in your drip system, what is happening? Your deep percolation losses are prevented. How? Because you are just focusing on the root zone and whenever you are applying water to the root zone, that is simultaneously being absorbed by the soil and it is provided to the root zone, okay. So that is why your deep percolation losses are less in the drip irrigation system. And also your surface evaporation is also less because whenever we go for flooding, there are chances that your water get evaporated due to evaporation, okay. Now in such type of irrigation, in your drip system, what is happening, your evaporation losses are also minimized, okay, because we are just focusing on the root zone. That is the advantages of drip irrigation, that it is economical, deep percolation losses are less and surface evaporation is also reduced, okay. Now drip irrigation is best suited in areas where there is a water scarcity. Students, when you have only limited water, you have to use it efficiently. And to use it efficiently, if you only focus the root zone of that particular crop, you can save much water. Okay, so the areas where there is a water scarcity, this drip system can play a very important role. Okay, for efficiently utilizing that water. Now, in your salt affected area, students, where the land is salt affected, in lands where salt concentration is high. So in such type of land, this irrigation system is also efficient. Why? Because it is providing water to just your root zone. Okay. Now, when you flood the field in your conventional method, when you flood the field, all your salt get accumulated at the root zone, and it can cause damage to your root system. Okay, but here in drip irrigation system, what is happening? See, if this is your root zone, okay, this is your root zone, and you are applying water. Okay, this is your dripper, and you are applying water to a root zone. Okay, and this is your area which is being wetted due to this application of water. Okay, now the concentration of water will be high around the root zone because you are just applying water around the root zone. So what will happen when the water will be more in this region? All the salts around this region, all the salts of this region will get leached out. Okay, it will get leached out. The salts will leached out, and your root zone will become safe. Okay, this will get protected from the salts. So that is why this drip system is also efficient in areas where there is a salt affected soil. Okay, now another advantages is another thing is that where labor is expensive. Okay, in areas where there is expensive labor, you can go for drip irrigation system. As I have already told you that you have to bear just one installation charges. Okay, one time installation charges, then you don't have to bear the expenses for the labor. Okay, so that was all about your drip irrigation system. Now let's discuss question based on this system. That is, first question is, drip irrigation is developed by, options are Hem Singh Pruthi, Simcha Blas, yours Rajendra Singh Paroda, all of the above, none of the above. Okay, and the right answer is Simcha Blas. We have discussed this, that drip irrigation is developed by Simcha Blas. Now moving on to the next question, which says drip irrigation was introduced from. Okay, drip irrigation was introduced from, and your options are China, Iraq, Israel, Japan, none of the above, and we have discussed this, that it is introduced from Israel. Okay, so right answer will be Israel. Now moving on to the next question, which have been asked in your NABARD Grade A 2021. Which of the following is the method of irrigation where water is applied near root zone? Options are sprinkler irrigation, drip irrigation, rain gun, ring basin irrigation, none of the above. Okay, you have to read the language of the question, that water is applied near the root zone, and we have just discussed that it is your drip irrigation system. Okay, so the right answer will be drip irrigation system. Now moving on to the next question, which has been asked in your NABARD Grade A 2019, and the question is, which of the following are the objective of drip irrigation to crops? Now options are reduce deep percolation, reduce surface evaporation, provide water directly to the root zone of the crop, all of the above, none of the above. Students, we have discussed that your drip irrigation can reduce deep percolation, it can reduce your surface evaporation, and also it is applying water directly to the root zone. So answer for this question will be all of the above. Okay. Now let us discuss about the another type of system, that is your sprinkler irrigation. In drip irrigation, you are applying water to the root zone through drippers. Okay, in a particular area, you are focusing on the root zone. But in your sprinkler irrigation, water is being applied with pressure to the surface of soil or crop. Okay, now here you can see this is a sprinkler. Okay, this is the device which is called a sprinkler. It is spreading the water around the field with pressure. Okay, on the surface of roots, on the surface of crop or soil. So that is your sprinkler type of, such type of irrigation is called a sprinkler irrigation system. Now this is also somewhat resembling like rainfall. Okay, when this system works, it somewhat resembles like rainfall. Okay, now rate of this sprinkler can be regulated. Okay, this sprinkler can be, your irrigation system through a sprinkler can be irrigated. Rate of spray can be regulated for the sprinklers, and your sprinkler irrigation can be used in all crops except your rice and jute. Students, you must remember that except rice and jute, you can use this sprinkler irrigation in almost all crops. Because see, why not in rice and jute? Because in rice and jute, the water requirement is high, and you must know that you will be knowing that in rice you need a flooding condition. So that type of irrigation cannot be provided by this sprinkler. That is why we are going for in rice, except rice and jute, we can go for sprinkler irrigation in all other crops. And also in most soil you can use this, except your heavy clay soils. Okay, except your heavy clay soils, you can use sprinkler irrigation in most of the soil, because in your heavy clay soil crusts are formed. So that is why we do not go for sprinkler irrigation there. And students, this sprinkler irrigation is saving 25 to 50% of water as compared to your surface irrigation. You must remember that it is saving you 25 to 50% water as compared to surface irrigation. Now, in this sprinkler irrigation, what is happening? A sprinkler is spreading the water in a circular pattern. Okay, a circular area is being covered by this one sprinkler. So, and the heaviest wetting is around close to the sprinkler. Now, you can see this is your sprinkler. Let's assume that this is your sprinkler. Now, it is spreading the water in a circular motion all around it. Okay. So now you can imagine, you can relate that the heaviest wetting will be around the sprinkler. Heaviest wetting will be around the sprinkler, and the water which is going far from the sprinkler, the water will be less. Okay, the water receiving to the area which are far from sprinkler will be less as compared to the around the sprinkler. So for uniform spreading of water, what we do, we go for installation of several sprinklers. Like you can see in the picture, several sprinklers are used where their pattern overlap each other and there is a uniform spraying of water. So here you can see that wetting pattern from single rotary sprinkler is not very uniform. So for good uniformity, several sprinklers must be installed. Okay. Now that was about your sprinkler type of micro irrigation. Now let's discuss question based on this, which is, in which of the following irrigation system water is applied with pressure to the surface of any crop or soil in form of thin spray? Your options are sprinkler irrigation, drip irrigation, flood irrigation, all of the above, none of the above. And the right answer for this question is sprinkler irrigation. Student, we have discussed that water is applied with pressure to the surface of any crop or soil in the form of thin spray. So that is your sprinkler irrigation. Moving on to the next question, which has been asked in your NABARD Grade A 2019, that in the sprinkler irrigation, water saving is dash % compared to the surface irrigation. Okay, so your options are 80%, 60%, 25 to 50%, 70%, none of the above. Students, we have discussed this, that in your sprinkler irrigation, 25 to 50% of water is saved as compared to your surface irrigation. Now, students, this is the question for you, which is sprinkler system can be used to irrigate all crops except options are rice, wheat, jute, all of the above, both A and C. Students, you have to do this question by yourself and do let me know the answer of this question in the comment box. And for more such videos, students, if you like my video and you want to see more videos on ARD static, you have to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you want to download this lecture, you have to join us on our Telegram channel. So that was all, students, for this video. I hope you had liked the video. Thank you. Thank you so much.